Hello. In this unit of the course we're going to look at some multimedia skills, and to begin with we're going to look at some skills in fireworks. What we're going to be looking at is layers, turning layers viewed on and off, locking layers, using the pen tool to create shapes, to edit those shapes, to change the fill and line type around the shapes, and using gradients within the shapes. And to do that we're going to use a picture of Chuck Norris that I've created. You can click and drag this into your user area, or you can simply open it, file, open, find it in MMH Student, or if you drag it into your own area you can find it. It's on my desktop at the minute, so I'm going to open it up, and here's a picture of Chuck Norris. So we're going to look at using layers, and you'll see up in the top corner here there's some different tabs to move between, and in a minute we're on layers, and we're going to make ourselves some layers. I'm going to turn this picture of Chuck Norris into a cartoon of Chuck Norris, which later we'll animate and get talking. So we have our background, so I'm going to see what's in there. It's just a picture of Chuck Norris. I'm going to zip that up and I'm going to lock it. It's important now you work methodically, locking and unlocking as you create layers. I'm now going to use the button down at the bottom of the section here to create a new layer, which I'm going to call face. I'll click on the picture, and I can't move this picture of Chuck around now. I can only edit the layer called face. So here we go. I'm going to use the pen tool, and I'm going to make sure that it's filled. I'm clicking on the fill option, and I'm moving the pen to somewhere over Chuck Norris's face to pick up a colour from there. That's probably a bit pale, so I'll try again. There we go. I don't want a line around his face, so I'm going to choose line, and I'm going to turn it to this option, which is the white square with the red line through it, which means no line. And then I'm going to draw around Chuck Norris's face. Okay. Here we go. And what I'm doing is I'm clicking, letting go, clicking, letting go, clicking, letting go, and tracing around Chuck Norris's face. And when we get into his hairline, I can be a bit less fussy about where I'm doing, but everywhere else I'm being fairly careful, and finally I'm joining them up. And you'll see that it fills in a colour for his face. Now here's the important thing to remember next. I'm going to zip up that face and I'm going to lock it. So now I've got a background and a face over the top of it, but I can't see the rest of Chuck's face to edit it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide, let's click on the eye, hide is the face that I've just drawn. And I'm going to draw his ear, and I'm going to do the same thing again and make a new layer, call it ear. I'm going to click on the picture, I'm going to use the pen tool, I'm going to get a colour from there, hopefully slightly different from the rest of his face, and then I'm going to trace around his ear. And then I'm going to zip up and lock, and then I'm going to turn it off. Now I'm going to trace his hair, so I'll need a new layer, change it to hair. Click on here, use the pen tool, pick up a colour for his hair. That's probably a bit dark. He's sort of got gold hair, hasn't he? So I'll go with that colour for his hair. And I'm tracing around his hair, not his beard yet. Probably should have done his beard first, but we'll soon find out. I'm just tracing around, trying to get the feathery bits in his hair if he's got them. go. Just around his hair. Go into here. Just around his hair. Back down and then joins up. So let's see what we've got so far. I'll zip up his hair and lock it, and I'll turn everything back on so we can see it, but I'll turn the background off. So what we've got so far is that. Okay, so turn the background back on and all the others off because I'd like to do his beard next. So click on here, new layer, name it beard. Can you see how it's important for your own sanity to be able to give these things sensible names? So now I'll make his beard, which is also that sandy colour. So I should just try and pick up a slightly different darker colour. There you go. So now I'll put in his beard. Can you see how you quite quickly build up a shape of somebody's face and a cartoon version of them? Now there's still some things to do, but we now really are getting towards something that looks a bit like Chuck Norris. Now, as you can see there, I think that's a bit, that angle there is too sharp. So I'm going to use the white arrow, not the black arrow, to edit that shape slightly by dragging one of those dots. So zip it up and lock it, and let's just see what he looks like now. Okay, this is a bit strange here in this corner, isn't it? So let's just turn the background on, unlock his beard, and let's just see if we can just edit that a bit. Yeah, that looks a bit more natural as a beard, doesn't it? Okay. We'll do his eyes and we'll do his nose, and then we'll be done for now. So, lock his beard. Always remember to lock these layers. I'm going to make a new layer, call it eyes. I'm going to use my pen tool. I'm going to draw on his eyes. Where's my pen tool? Yeah, I want his eyes to be probably white, don't I? So here we go, and his eyes will be a bit difficult now because he's got little piggy looking into the sun eyes, hasn't he? And what I'm going to do is he needs pupils on there, and I'm going to use this zoom in tool to zoom into his eyes so that I can draw a circle. Look at this box here over on the left. I'm going to choose a circle ellipse tool. I'm going to choose a colour for his eyes, which I'm going to set as green, and I'm going to put that circle in there. And I'm going to use Command and C to copy it, Command and V to paste another version on there, and then I'm going to use the black arrow to drag that over, and then I'll zoom out again. And we're nearly there. We just need, let's just zoom out, there we go. We'll lock that up, and then we'll just draw on his nose. His nose is the last thing. You might want to put eyebrows on him as well, and a neck and a shirt, but we'll see how we go. Last thing, nose. And this is where the gradient goes. So, we're going to make his nose using the pen tool. And we shall not pick up a green nose. Let's pick up a colour from here. So, and I'm just going to trace around his nose. Now, I'm going to show everything now apart from the background, because we want to do something with that nose. As you can see, it's a bit dark in his face, which is probably what we want, but we want to do something else. We want to make it slightly transparent, and we want to change from solid to gradient. And I normally use a radial gradient, and you have to click it to see how that's working. You have to click on it with the black tool. And I'm going to zoom in so you can see how it looks. Okay, now that's not where you want it to be. You want it to be dark down here and light up there. So at the minute I've got white there and dark there. So I'm going to click on this option down here, the fill options, and I'm going to change the white to a darker version of that nose. And actually that colour here is okay. So I'll go with that. And then maybe this a lighter version. So we'll use that colour. So let's have a look now. If I stretch this out, there you go. That's Chuck's nose. So we now have our Chuck Norris. You can see there's a few blanks here, a few edges that you can see through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click, unlock his hair, and I'm going to use the white edit tool to just drag this around a bit so that, oops, I've moved it all then, so I'm going to do Command Z and move it back. I'm going to just click on here and just drag that so there's no white gaps around the edges of his face, because Chuck Norris doesn't have gaps around the edge of his face. Same for here. Okay, so that's my Chuck Norris, and I'm going to save that in a minute. Let's just zoom out again. Zoom out. It's all to get, let's lock his hair up before I mess it up. It's not at the minute in the centre of my picture, but that's all right, because what I'm going to do once I'm happy with this, I'm going to delete the background and this layer here as well, actually. So all you do is you drag the background into the bin and drag that layer into the bin as well. And then I'm going to unlock everything, highlight it with the black arrow, and drag it down into the center of the page. See if you can do that.